Hi everyone. I just want to record a quick message here. I promise that I'll be sharing my experience with the intermittent fasting that I'm doing. It's not the first time. I've been on it maybe on and off for the last, I would say 8 years. And different realizations, different processes I experience. So as in the past, I noticed that it's a slower process. I always encourage people to go into any sort of discipline regarding food consumption and regarding limiting or changing certain diet slowly and listen intuitively to your body. If your body is ready to make the shift and ready to kind of jump into something new, you truly don't need to force yourself. Your body will generally notify you that it doesn't want any more certain type of food or certain quality of food or certain food altogether. But it's also an intense mental emotional work, and that's primarily where I want to speak to you today about this. What I noticed that definitely, I keep maybe last maybe months, a little bit less than a month. I started with 12 hours, then switched to 16-hour fasting, and then very quickly I got into 23 hours. So I basically have only 1 hour a day that I eat, and each day it's less and less. I want to eat less and more natural food, more simple food, more fresh food. I was on a raw organic diet for 8 years in my life. It was in 2011, 2012, around that time. And it was great. But we should always get off it and come back to it. You know, our body needs changes. We can't be forever in one system, and it's important to also intuitively connect and tune in and be available for that. So what I noticed this time around, I definitely within this 1 hour from 24 hours, I need to eat less, and I don't generally feel hunger anymore before I eat. If initially, when the first 23 hours came about, I used to feel dizzy, I used to feel hungry a little bit disoriented. Right now I don't experience that at all, but I do notice those patterns that why I used to eat, right? And we always have to remember, we don't usually eat because we're hungry. We don't need to eat as much as we do. It's mostly an emotional eating. It's mostly emotions kind of come in waves, right? And whenever you're tired and exhausted and you don't have much resources, and certain emotions show up, certain process shows up, and what you usually or I usually used to do is to distract ourselves from those emotions by eating or drinking or snacking, right? And instead of processing, let's say, sadness or loneliness or a lack of something, or processing certain emotion, you just switch and you're like, oh, this is something tasty, this smells good, this tastes good, and you kind of shift your attention to something else. It's much easier to cope with showing up emotions instead of staying put with emotion and allow that emotion to visit as long as it needs to visit, right? And be present and show up. Don't run away, right? And food used to be, in my case, and I noticed in a lot of people's case, that escape. Food used to be an escape. Not necessarily you feel hungry, like in Chinese medicine, they recommend to feel hungry 3 times. Where you felt hungry once, you bear through it, you feel hungry the second time, you bear through it, and you feel hungry the third time. And only that is a sign that your body actually could be nurtured through some food. But generally, we don't feel hungry. Our body has a lot of resources, a lot of fats stored, a lot of minerals stored. Unless you're nursing and you get pregnant every year, and you need a lot of nurturing food and nourishing food. But if that's not the case, we store a lot of fats that our body could turn to and so to speak, live through, right? We usually eat because we want to escape certain dealing of certain process, and we shut down the process and we kind of redirect our attention to food, and certain prolonged attention on something. If our system directs us towards, let's say, oh, we need to handle that question in life, or we need to really put our mind to something, and you don't want to do it. Thank you so much. So we shift to food. Food is that escape zone. So what I noticed when I fast, as I mentioned before, I don't feel hunger that much. I move a lot. I do a lot of exercise, and I walk a lot, and I do stretching and yoga and whatever. Yeah, that happens. So I move my body. I even feel when in my body certain organ gets kind of worked on because of fasting. While I'm moving, especially, I notice that. But that signal that my brain sends, oh, I need food, but there is no hunger. Why do I need food? Because certain emotions showed up. And that pattern we need to survive through, so to speak. We need to say, aha, let me live through that pattern. I used to escape without wanting to deal with certain emotion into food. I'm not hungry right now. Let me be available for this emotion. And that is extremely painful. That is extremely uncomfortable, to just be there for that emotion and allow that emotion to pass through you, right? Whatever triggers something and in your mind or in your past would kind of get triggered, and something will show up. So my suggestion, instead of eating, if it's not in the middle of the night, usually we get exhausted towards the evening time and we want to eat something instead of processing emotion, right? So either go to sleep early, or journal, or do breathing exercise, or walk, because motions help emotions process. So just simple walking with maybe tuning into the nature sounds, just birds, just leaves, rain, whatever, wind, any sound in nature, just tune in and allow those emotions to bounce in you. There is nothing wrong with emotions. It's just like stormy wave, comes in and comes out, and just show up for it and just say, I'm here. I'm not escaping. I'm not running to food or drinks or escaping into some weird or unnecessary discussion. I'm showing up for this emotion, just totally here. And I'm helping myself move that emotion in motion. Most probably better, either exercise, light exercise, water, or deep breathing, or shower also helps, or bath helps, right? Salt water helps move emotions, especially if it's like irritation or aggression or bitterness or resentment. Salt water, naturally salt water like ocean and seawater, helps those emotions to pass through you gradually. But of course, certain emotions carry certain information. There has to be a realization. Let's say you remember you got hurt, or you lost someone, or you miss someone, or you want to experience something, and there's self-pity or la la la. You just stay with that emotion, face it, just hold the space for it, and just say, what is it that you want from me? It's a kind of building an exchange. What is it that you want from me? And usually with emotions, just picking up its speed, its rhythm, its energy, its color, its vibration. Just knowing it's there, it's good enough. It's like a loud child, you know, like a child comes and all it needs just your focus on it. So our emotions are like that. They just want our attention. I'm aware of this rhythm. I'm aware of this speed and sensation and mood of this specific emotion. I'm aware of you. I'm totally holding the space. And that's good enough. As long as you look right at it, you don't try to escape, you don't try to convert it, you don't try to convince the sadness into happiness. There's no need for any of that, right? It's important to just, okay, if it's sadness for now, and there's no need to transform it. So that's what I realized was my intermittent fasting. A lot of emotions show up and I could escape into food, but I don't because I'm in this setup right now. I'm entertaining this specific kind of study of myself in all of this. And it's interesting, right? I don't know what's going to be next. Maybe there'll be some mental patterns that will show up, like, oh, you should be eating oils and you should be eating good fats and you should have proteins and you need for the muscle growth this and that. And I want to see what's next, because there are layers why we are dependent on food. And if food is just there without those attachment and addictions that we don't even know we have, food could be just a resource. You're not attached to it. You don't have to eat regularly. You don't have to eat specifically. You don't have to have certain amounts. Just like allow it to regulate itself for your system, for your body type, for your age, for your kind of intensity, how you move your body, for the climate you're in. It's also very important for all the systems that you kind of in process of cleansing. I remember when I switched to raw, I used to have those patterns that I would only crave, let's say, just green apples, nothing else. Like when I would eat, I would only want to eat green apples. And then if I would switch, it would be only watermelons. Thank goodness in Canada, when I was in Canada, they always had those like amazing quality organic watermelons at all time. They don't have this in Florida, but in Canada they did. And I was like only on watermelon. There's nothing else. And then I was consulting with an amazing healer, and he said, like repeated to me, and he like studied me, so to speak. And he's like, look, first you were cleansing gallbladder, then you were cleansing spleen, and then this, and then liver. And it's like so wise if you leave our body alone and let it do what it needs to do. It knows exactly what to cleanse. And like specifically for my body type, specifically for my personal system, it knows exactly what to do once you allow things to unfold. And wait until you look at the specific food that you are, so to speak, wanted to eat, and you don't want it anymore. A lot of things would just like fall away. Like meat, by me, within weeks just goes out, usually when I start this whatever cleansing process that I do. Or meat and chicken, usually. Fish stays longer. Some dairy products stay longer, but most of it just goes. If you like smell, also entertain that, like smelling first. Even an apple, smell and see what your system, how your system reacts to it. When you mostly go for a number of hours without any food, your body will be super sensitive to smell. You will know, this apple I don't want now, even though it's perfect, it looks great, you used to love it, but right now, no, it's not. Like this nuts, bunch of nuts, just smell, touch, you will feel it's not what you want. And that intuitive eating is super important. It opens up our other kind of ability, creative flow, etc., etc. Thanks so much. Hope it was interesting. And we'll speak again. Bye-bye.